can you tell us a bit about your background and experience in education?
Yes, Ivy, that's a very nice question to start with. So, in terms of background, I come originally from Northern Ireland, from a city called Belfast. I've spent a long time working in schools, over 30 years. I've worked in schools in Ireland, in England, in Germany, and in Cyprus. The schools I've worked in have always been quite big schools with between 1,000 and 1,500 students, and I've worked a lot with children from age 2 to 18. Originally I was a mathematics teacher. I still very much enjoy teaching mathematics, and I'm always happiest when I'm in the classroom.
When you were a child, what was your favourite subject at school?
Thanks very much, Bebe. That's a really nice question. So at school, to be honest, I don't think I had a favourite subject. I was an all-rounder. I wasn't someone who just loved mathematics. I was very lucky at school to have great teachers. So I enjoyed English, where we studied Macbeth through drama. I really enjoyed science, doing practicals. I loved physics when we learned about the world and the earth. I loved PE and playing with my friends. But I was very lucky. I went to a very good school and every day was good.
So what inspired you to pursue your career as a school principal?
Okay. So, Ivy, when I left school, I wasn't going to be a teacher. Both my parents were teachers, and I thought it was the last thing that I would ever do. When I first went to university, the degree I studied was engineering. And as part of that degree, I did a lot of work in terms of management and languages like French and German. But when I had a little bit of a change of mind and I embraced teaching, I really wanted also to have the opportunity to look at management aspects of school. And as a school principal, you can really shape the future of children and also of teachers. So the opportunity to do that, as well as do something that I love in terms of teaching a little bit of mathematics, seeing how students and how teachers develop, has been a real privilege.
So what are your main goals for our school and how do you plan to achieve them?
Good question, Ivy. In terms of goals, St Martin's has always been a very innovative school, and I want to keep innovating. What that means in practice is in two particular areas. The first one is around the whole aspect of, let's say, academic achievement. And that's very important for students because it allows them to move from St Martin's onto the university course of their choice. So we want to be as good as we possibly can do, not just in terms of academic achievement, but to make sure that every single student is offered a personalised pathway so that they can get the career that they really will be able to excel at. So I want to continue to grow the school community so that we're really strong in terms of our identity, but every student can also develop as a person. So it's not just about academic achievement, it's also about the development of skills, because the world that we all live in is rapidly changing, and it's not just about knowledge at the moment, it's really about how do you apply your skills, how do you work with other people. So those are the goals. How we're going to achieve them, what plans we have, will be very detailed, but it's really about making sure that everybody understands the goals and plays their own individual part in that. So it's about getting the team to work in the best possible way, and that's the team of teachers, of the LSEs, of all of the support staff, and probably most importantly, about every single student doing their very best.
So how do you think learning could be more fun and engaging?
I think as a teacher, it's really, really important to make sure that you put everything that you teach into a context. So rather than just talk about numbers or about number lines or about equations, we should try to use practical examples and try to tie learning together. For me, the best classes that I have seen are always active. It's not where children are sitting in a classroom and that they're in rows. I think it's really good if you can make learning active, make it real, and do it through problems and allow children to think.
How will us students continue to be a part of important decisions for our school?
That's another very good question, Ivy. When I came to the school, I was delighted to see such a strong student council. School councils are so important in terms of decision making. So I hope not only just to work with the student council, but also to work with a greater student body to help all of us make really good decisions. I don't live and breathe in the same spaces that students do. I walk down corridors, I don't work in them. So we really do need to listen to students to see what works best, how we can adapt things, how we can improve, and how we can change. So listening to students has always been something very, very important to me.
How do you spend your free time every day?
Well, Beppe, I'm very lucky. I have 4 children. I've got 2 grown-up boys and 2 6-year-old twins. So life outside work can be quite busy. I love to spend time with my family, with my wife and the children, but I also really enjoy sport. So I do a lot of cycling, a lot of running. I play golf when I can, a little bit of windsurfing, and if I'm really lucky, a little bit of skiing. So the main thing I do outside of work is family and then sport.
If you could choose a superpower, what would it be and why?
If I had a superpower that I could invent, it would be time travel. The reason for that is I'd love to go back in time, maybe meet Henry VIII, or be in Berlin at the time whenever some of the events were taking place around the war. It would have been really interesting to see how that happened. So for me, time travel would be a tremendous superpower. And if we had that, maybe we can venture to the future as well, see how the world's going to work out.
What's the best piece of advice you would offer to us students?
I think the best piece of advice is always quite simple. Do your very, very best. In a school like this, there are lots of opportunities. Don't let them pass you by. Make sure you take them and work hard and really enjoy every moment of your school life. School days are the best days of your life. They may not always seem it, but they really are. The students that I have taught that were the most successful were those that really threw themselves into school life. They played sport, they took part in drama, they gave everything a go. And I would encourage every student to do that. Find yourself, contribute to the community, and really make the most of every single day at school. That would be my advice.
What is one book you believe every student should read?
Okay, Beppe, that is the toughest question you've asked. So I'm going to give you 2, okay? And they're a little bit related to age and stage. So for students who are maybe around 9 or 10, I would say a really important book to read is The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. I'm not sure if you've read that yet, but it's a difficult story, but it's a story of history seen through the eyes of a 9 or 10-year-old, and I think it's very important to read. The other book, I think, for older students, maybe students who are 14 or 15, is a beautiful book called Captain Corelli's Mandolin, and it's a story of love, of friendship and war, and how not every story always works out the way that we want it to. So those are 2 books I would recommend to every single student. Great, Matt. Okay, listen, thank you very much.